Visual approach runway 5 in use, landing and departing runway 5. Notice airman use caution for bird and wildlife activity on in the vicinity of the airport. Ground control and clearance delivery are combined on frequency 121.6. Multiple cranes in the vicinity of the airport at or below 262 feet. Naples Aviation temporarily relocated to the base of the tower. Advise on initial contact you have. ATIS information, India. Naples Tower, ATIS information. Air Center 76, Naples ground, runway 5, taxi via Alpha, cross runway 14 at Alpha.
Ground control, Air Center 76, taxi to the runway 5 via Alpha, crossing 14.
Naples ground, good morning, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, over at Naples Jet with India looking to pick up 5 to Tullahoma.
November 600 Bravo Zulu, Naples ground. Standby 1.
I'm up, you're down. I'm down, you're up.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 600 Bravo Zulu, you are clear to Tango Hotel Alpha Airport via radar vectors to Rogan, direct. Climb maintain 2000, expect 6000 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.12, squawk 1351.
Alright, we're clear to Tango Hotel Alpha via radar vectors, Rogan direct, 2000 on departure, 6000 10 minutes after departure, 124.12, departure frequency 1351 for the squawk for Cirrus Bravo Zulu.
Number 0 Bravo Zulu, read back correct, let me know ready for taxi, India broadcast.
Alright, we've got India and we're ready to taxi over at Naples Jet.
November 0 Bravo Zulu, runway 5 at Delta 1 intersection, runway taxi via Delta, across runway 14 at Delta.
Alright, runway 5 via Delta, and we will take Delta across runway 14 and down to Delta 1 for Cirrus Bravo Zulu.
Say bye, Zoe. Say bye-bye. See you later. Here we go. Everything looks good.
Right, run-up is complete. We already checked flight controls while we were waiting.
Let's do your checklist.
Let's go to our checklist here. Alright, up on. Taxi is complete. Doors latched, unlatched, you're latched.
Yep, caps, pins removed.
Pin removed, seat belts are secure. Fuel quantity is confirmed, we're on the fullest tank.
Did you set the fuel to full?
Flaps are going 50, yep.
Okay.
Flaps are set 50, indicating 50,
Yep.
150.
Naples ground, station 188 Charlie, Sierra.
Autopilot is checked.
Clear runway 5 at Charlie. We would like to go to
set for takeoff, but
TSBO.
let us go to 124.
Sure, 188 Charlie Sierra, Naples ground. Take a slight right turn on to Tango, taxi to park. Looks like somebody will be out for you in a moment.
Correct.
Trim is set for takeoff position. Autopilot is disconnected. And
No ice down here.
no ice down here. Going to be a normal takeoff. Rotate 73 to 76. We're going to keep an eye on airspeed. We had a little bit of a tailwind when we were taxiing down here, so we weren't picking up any speed. We'll keep an eye on that. If we don't get airspeed right away on the runway, we will abort. Otherwise,
The helicopter off your left from my Cessna. He's going to pass behind you, I believe.
Or
Or at least he'll avoid directly over.
And Naples Tower, 0600 Bravo Zulu, holding short of 5 at Delta 1. We're ready to go.
All right, guys. So we are in Naples, Florida at the Naples Airport. And just getting ready to head out on our way back to Minnesota. So it's always a little bittersweet, but leaving beautiful weather here. Not sure what we're going to arrive to, but
Thank you.
hoping for some decent weather.
Did you say you were seriously
There as well. It's a pretty busy airport, so
627 Juliet, left turn out, northbound approved.
we should wait our turn
Left
and
turn approved, 27 Juliet.
go when we're ready.
Yep.
We'll be making our first stop in Tullahoma, Tennessee on our way back. It's one of our favorite spots to stop. Good midpoint for us. Good fuel options. Nice facilities. So that'll be stop 1, then Minnesota bound. How you
Sierra
feeling?
600 Bravo Zulu, runway 5. Delta 1 intersection cleared for takeoff. Turn left heading 040.
All right, runway 5, clear for takeoff. 00 Bravo Zulu to 040, left turn on takeoff. All right, clear.
Tower 55, number Golf, on an extended right downwind runway 5 for a 5-mile final.
55 November Golf, Naples Tower, Roger, continue. Report turn and final.
Power coming up, airspeed's alive, so we're good there.
You and report turn and final.
And
Naples Tower, Skyhawk 54381
power
request.
set.
November 54381, ground, tower.
54381 is 10 miles to the northeast with information India, like a full stop taxi back. Naples.
November 54381, head directly westbound to the interstate and then come in on the left downwind for runway 5, report midfield.
Westbound to the interstate and on the left midfield, report back to you.
Flight level change is set. Up to 6,000. Checked and set.
So he's enjoying the ride as usual. She loves flying.
Yeah, she does.
So anyway, we're on our way back to Minnesota. Stop in Tennessee quick, get some fuel.
Run 801, contact 4 miles approach.
Then probably another, what, maybe 3 or so hours from Tennessee to Minnesota. So should be back in no time. But come along for the ride.
Yeah. And now let's see if we can beg Miami Center to put us back on course. And Miami Center, Cirrus 600, Bravo Zulu request.
November 600, Bravo Zulu, say request.
We're on a 010, heading. Any chance we can get back on course?
November 0 Bravo Zulu, I have a 1-6 amendment to your routing, advise ready to copy.
Alright, stand by. So what we're about to get now is a
Train 1615 X-ray, say again.
Which means they're going to make us fly.
1615 X-ray is off. November 0 Bravo Zulu, your foot rate to Varsity. It's Victor, Alpha, Romeo, Zulu, Echo, and direct to your destination.
Alright, we're cleared direct Varsity and then direct Tullahoma for Cirrus 0 Bravo Zulu. Thank you.
Jax approach, good afternoon, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, level 8000.
3 Delta Romeo, contact Tampa approach on 135.5, correction 119.9er.
119.9er for 3 Delta Romeo.
18 November, Jax approach, good morning, Cal altimeter 3026.
Jax approach, good afternoon, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, just wanted to make sure you got our check on.
600 Bravo Zulu, loud and clear, thank you. And you're on course now?
We are on course. Jax Center, good afternoon. Cirrus 60 Bravo Zulu is level 8000.
Cirrus 60 Bravo Zulu, Jax Center, good afternoon.
Contact Jacksonville Center 125.75, good day.
Over to Jacksonville 12575 for 0 Bravo Zulu, have a great day. Good afternoon, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, level 6000.
Number 600 Bravo Zulu, Jax Center, Albany, altimeter 3027.
3027 for 0 Bravo Zulu. Atlanta Center, good afternoon, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, level 6000.
600 Bravo Zulu, ROM altimeter 3023.
3023 for 0 Bravo Zulu. Okay, so we're about 100 miles out from Tullahoma, and so it's time for us to start doing a little bit of work, and we will get the weather in Tullahoma, we'll get the AWAS and weather frequencies loaded, so we've got them here, and then we'll figure out which approach we're going to take. Obviously, I'm guessing it'll be the visual, since the clouds are basically non-existent today, and we'll figure out which direction the winds are ideal for. So let's do that quick. Grab your phone, we'll show what we're doing here. And in the meantime, looks like we're getting a message here, just a CAS message, that it is time to switch tanks. so we'll put on boost.
Foxy 5932, clear bucket, cross bucket at 8.
And we'll make sure that flow is stable, flow is good, so boost can come back off. And we'll just make sure flow is good. And flow's just fine. So we switch tanks, and we do that basically.
So 972, contact line approach 128.0.
So if there was a problem with contamination or something in a tank, we could isolate to one tank or the other. Okay, so now that we're going to Tullahoma, we are going to go turn our FMS dial. We're going to grab airport information. Here's Tullahoma. The elevation's 1,000 feet, so pattern altitude would be 2,000. And we're going to come down here and we'll load their frequencies. I like to set it up so we're operating on COM1. Basically, we have 2 radios in the plane. COM1 is the active frequencies that we're working with, so air traffic control. And COM2 I like to set up as my actual airport specific frequencies. So we're going to go ahead, load AWAS here, we'll press enter, and we're going to load it to COM2 active. So now AWAS is 128.325, and then we'll load Unicom to COM2 standby. So now we've got 128.325 and 123.0 loaded in our frequencies. And basically what those are is AWAS is the automated weather frequency at the airport. So that just broadcasts up to the minute weather, or sometimes even more frequently than that. And then Unicom is basically the CTAF, or the Common Traffic Advisory Frequency. So at an airport that doesn't have a tower, we have to talk to other pilots on the radio, and we do that on the Unicom frequency, or the CTAF frequency. Now, last thing is we'll hit weather here, and we can kind of cheat. Normally you'd have to listen to the radio, but Garmin does an awesome job of loading weather information on the airport. So you can see here the weather's at 1935 Zulu. Right now it's 1957, contact line approach, so it's about 21 minutes old or so. The wind direction is 250, blowing at 8 knots. And so obviously 2-4 is going to be the best approach for us to take today. So we'll probably come up here, take a left base into 2-4, and we'll land 2-4. So got that all figured out. We'll come back here in probably about 30 minutes or so when it's time to land. And 25 minutes, pick up the weather and make sure that's up to the minute there. And then we'll get our approach finalized and planned for that.
Alright, 26 Julie Mike.
Memphis Center, good afternoon, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu is 5300 for 4,000.
November 600 Bravo Zulu, Memphis Center, roger, the Tullahoma altimeter 3020.
3020 for 0 Bravo Zulu. And can do our descent checklist. Altimeter set. Cabin heat defrost is good, landing light is going on, mixture is as required, and brake pressure is checked. Alright, before landing checklist, might as well get that out of the way. So seat belt, shoulder harness, secure, fuel pump is going to boost, mixture is good, flaps will start to get in a little bit here, and autopilot is as required. No icing conditions to worry about here, so we're good there. And going to be a normal landing, full flaps. And we're going to come in on a left base for runway 24, I think is the best at this point. Winds 23, 24 is not bad.
Sounds good. Colors are really pretty.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Springfield traffic, Bonanza 2050 Zulu is on base for 22.
Alright, we're about 25 miles south of the field. We'll make our first call here at 20 miles. And we're at 4,000, which is kind of nice. They're not diving us down at the very last second, so that's much appreciated. Mountains are just gorgeous below us right here. And Memphis Center, Cirrus Bravo Zulu has the field insight.
Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, roger, clear visual approach to Tullahoma Airport. Support cancellation of off this frequency. Unable through flight service, change advisory frequency approved.
Alright, clear for the visual to Tullahoma. We'll probably report back to you to cancel in just a few minutes for 0 Bravo Zulu. Tullahoma traffic, Cirrus Bravo Zulu 15 to the southeast, coming up to enter a left base for 24 Tullahoma.
Tullahoma traffic, 00 Bravo Zulu, final for 24 Tullahoma.
KAPF-KTHA-KRNH, clear direct to Buckhead.
Yeah.
And we'll stop, get some fuel quick.
Forgot to cancel IFR in the air, so the first thing we'll do is make a phone call and cancel IFR.
Let's dog out to stretch your legs, and then we'll be off on our last and final leg to Minnesota.
Cirrus SR22 Flight, pump golf, level 8 sound.
They're working on that plane.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, here we go.
3205, flight 369, yeah. That's just go to 2045 out of 10.5 for 15,000.
724.
I'm saying 230 about 2045.
And we'll just try and keep it a little further here so we can swing out without this guy getting in the way. And that should do the trick right there. And good there. And shut down. Alright, we will call up Memphis Center, cancel IFR, get some fuel, get a restroom break, and get the dog out of the plane for a little bit.
KAPF-KTHA-KRNH.
Memphis Center, good afternoon, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, looking to pick up IFR.
Center 600 Bravo Zulu, Memphis Center, squawk 1543.
1543 for Zero Bravo Zulu. Alright.
Hey, Memphis.
Nashville approach, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, level 4000. Good evening.
November 600 Bravo Zulu, Nashville approach. Good evening, National altimeter 3015.
3015.
November 0 Bravo Zulu, present heading is going to take you right through Nashville Tower airspace. We've got two options. We can climb up to 5,000 or 6,000 and go over top of it, or I can give you vectors around to the west if you'd like to stay at 4.
We'll take the climb up to 5,000.
November 0 Bravo Zulu, roger. Maintain 4,000 for now. I have a climb to 5,000 here in a few more miles.
Copy that for 0 Bravo Zulu.
Yeah, 1,000-foot climb's a lot better than going all the way around Nashville, so nothing to complain about there. Alright, so we are airborne north of Tullahoma, just about, call it 25 miles south of Nashville. And looks like we're going to go just about right over Nashville Airport, which will be kind of cool. Maybe we can get some cool pictures or video of that. Looks like we got about 3 hours and 20 minutes or so, 3:15, till we get back to Minnesota. And this afternoon we are racing our friend Mike, who's flying back in a citation, but
well, I mean, he started in Minnesota, flew all the way down to almost Naples, turned around and is flying back, and he'll probably beat us, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think you're
His
probably...
round trip is probably going to be faster, but that's okay.
That's all right. I was looking for the extra speed turbo button, but we don't have it, so I think Mike's going to win this one. Oh well.
That's okay. On another note, I love flying over Nashville because there are just like incredible homes and properties. And I don't know, something about Tennessee is so beautiful.
It is. It's also fall, which is gorgeous. The trees look beautiful.
Philly Bader 70, contact Memphis Center 128.15.
But yeah, there are a lot of really nice suburbs
out
around Nashville.
Fort Campbell approach, good evening, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, level 4000.
Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, Campbell approach, Campbell altimeter 3014.
3014.
Well, we're in Kentucky. We're halfway between Fort Campbell and Evansville. Probably get switched over to Evansville here any minute. Off our left, just barely too far off to see it, because the haze is Lake Barkley and the Cumberland River.
Guard 969, turn left heading 010.
That's always pretty to fly over.
Is this the best wind altitude?
Yeah.
Oh.
Got about a 32 knot kind of quartering crosswind. Unfortunately, it's the best we can do. If we go up higher, it gets even worse. The wind starts to die off in about 100 miles or so, 150 miles, so should average out, but it's definitely adding to our flight time. Looks like the wind came in a little bit sooner than we were expecting it to as well, which is a bit of a bummer, but oh well. So this is our MFD. So this is what we're watching for, primarily traffic, right?
Primarily, but it does give you a lot of information about a lot of the systems on the plane, about your travel distance, fuel, other traffic around you, when there's weather in the area, you see live weather, well, almost live weather, few minute delay.
Yeah, there was a
969, turn left heading 350.
There was a really good, what is it, Aviation Safety Institute?
Over 600 Bravo Zulu, contact Evansville approach 124.02.
12402 for 0 Bravo Zulu, have a good night.
Two.
Evansville approach, good evening, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, level 4000.
Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, Evansville approach, good evening, Evansville altimeter 3014.
3014.
Okay, so we were talking about the MFD, we were talking about the functionality that's on this side of the screen. So Obviously weather, there's a little bit of a delay to the radar. I think it was the Aviation Safety Institute. There was a really interesting video about that where someone wasn't factoring that there's about a 10, 15, 20-minute satellite delay, and they were basically trying to fly around a thunderstorm and then ended up in the cell, and that didn't end well. But really helpful to have the NEXRAD data. It comes via XM, and it's really helpful to have it. Gives you an idea of kind of what you're dealing with up ahead. And if you zoom out here, you can see, pretty much the whole country. A little bit of light precipitation kind of around us here in Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. A little bit up in Michigan. A little bit stronger cells, kind of northern New York, over Lake Erie. But that gives you a lot of good information. And then when you're closer in, you want to talk about the targets?
Sure. So each of these black arrows represents another plane or aircraft that's in the air. Could be a helicopter, I guess, as well as a plane. As well as their altitude in comparison to where we are. So, for example, this plane is 5,000 feet above us. This plane is 2,800 feet below us. That one is 3,500 feet below us. So it gives us a really good indicator of the traffic that's in the area, where they are in relation to us, not only kind of geographically, but also compared to our altitude. Are they above us? Are they below us? And by how much?
700 indicated. No other traffic zone observed. IFR cancellation received. Swap VFR change to advisory.
That's really helpful. And then we kind of use the range, so you can zoom in, obviously, and you see, when you zoom in, you see the range there. It'll say 15 miles, 25 miles. But that'll give you a sense of kind of where you're at. So that guy that's 2,700 feet below us is probably 18 miles or so beyond us. But if you're trying to find traffic that's close by, you can really zoom in and get super granular, or you can also kind of zoom out and get a broader picture of kind of what the traffic is around you. When you get over busy airspace, especially like South Florida, right, it gets crazy. But yeah. Want to talk about like kind of the top right dashboard?
Over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what tells us our estimated time of arrival at our destination. So, or the estimated travel time left, I guess. So it's saying we have about 3 hours and 17 minutes left, 16 minutes. So that can change based on what the wind direction does. So as we continue along our course, if we start to get more of a strong tailwind, that will decrease at a much faster rate. So it's really just an estimate. Sometimes it's pretty accurate. Sometimes we find it goes in the opposite direction. So it just kind of depends. But it does give you a little bit of an idea. This is our fuel over destination. So it shows that beyond our destination back up in Minnesota, actually it's western Wisconsin, but nonetheless, we should have about 26 gallons of fuel on board when we land, approximately. So there are regulations around how much extra fuel you have to have for safety and reserves. So if for some reason you had to make a landing at a different airport, maybe we got all the way up to Minnesota and realized that the weather was really bad, or the wind direction was really bad for landing where we thought we were going to go, we need to divert to another destination or another airport. We need to have enough fuel in reserve to be able to make those decisions as a safety factor. So,
yep.
KRNH is our destination. So the airport destination that we're heading to, we have about 520 nautical miles remaining on this leg of the flight, and this is just our on-course heading, so 339 degrees, so we're almost going, well, not quite straight north, but yeah, you want to add to that?
No, I think that's all that. Top left corner obviously is our radios if we're doing an ILS approach or tuning into a VOR. Those would be our nav radios. Underneath that, you want to talk about the rest of the settings?
On the left column is mostly our, I guess I would call it kind of like the power engine dashboard, or kind of the systems dashboard for the plane. So the top indicator tells us how much or what percentage of our available power we're using in terms of engine power. So usually you cruise somewhere between, like you'll use full power for takeoff But then once you get to your altitude, you'll pull your power back, and that is, one, good for the engine, but also helps conserve fuel. So generally, what's the range we usually fly, like 65 to 75% or so?
Yeah, if we're kind of going for more of an economy cruise, we'll go 65%. When we went Minnesota to Austin, Texas, we were stretching to about the max range of the plane. So in that case, we ended up 65%. Actually, I think we ended up even a little bit below that for a while in order to conserve fuel. But in general, we try and go 75% in the SR22. And I think the thing is, even though you can save fuel going slower, ultimately the wear and tear on your engine and the wear and tear on your airframe, your plane is not worth as much money.
And the extra hours on your plane.
The more hours you get on it. So I think the equation kind of works out where it just makes sense to go
We're 778 X-ray Juliet to Evansville, clearance.
Sort of what I would call a high-speed cruise.
Air-controlled airspace heading 110,
and then below
release
that
for
is just the
departure.
RPM and manifold
And clearance voice, not
pressure.
airborne within 5 minutes.
Then below that,
we have fuel gauges, so Steve mentioned earlier that we have 2 tanks, one on each wing, the left and right side, and we switch between them. So those are our gauges that tell us about how much fuel is left in each tank, and then indicates kind of when you should switch tanks. We also get an alert message that tells you when to switch tanks. But your goal is to keep them relatively even, so you can't wear one tank way down and leave the other one really full, or the plane won't fly, because it also is a weight stabilizer. So you have to keep the weight between the 2 tanks pretty even, so you kind of work your way down, switching between tanks along the way.
and there's a timer that'll pop up kind of down in the CAS area on the PFD that'll tell us when it's time to switch tanks.
Yeah.
And then the right side's for leaning.
Yeah, so that's your fuel flow gallons per hour. You're probably better at explaining this than I am. All I know is you want to keep it in the black range when you're on cruise. Normally when you're taking off, you want it full fuel.
Yep. Oh, here you go. So we have a message popping up down here. So now we're going to go ahead and click the message. So it says to switch tanks. So given that, we will hit boost on, and then we're on the left tank. We'll switch to the right tank, and we'll make sure that the flow stays stable. The flow looks stable, so boost can come off, and then we can just push here to acknowledge to close out the switch tank. And now we're running on the right tank. So as you can see, we had a little bit more fuel in the left tank than the right tank than the left tank. So now we're switched to the right tank, we're running on the right tank for fuel. And leaning is basically just trying to set the amount of fuel flow to be ideal for the altitude that you're at. So our plane here is the SR22, normally aspirated, so we're not turbocharged. So the higher up we get, the more we need to lean the fuel mixture, because we have to account for the air density.
Juliet, Evansville departure, ident, Evansville altimeter 3013.
Below that is just how many gallons we've used, our oil temperature, oil pressure.
Station 8 X-ray Juliet, radar contact 2 miles south of Lawrenceville, climb
whether we're charging
10,000.
Our essential bus is at 28 volts, which is right where we want it to be. And then below that is the cylinder head temperature and exhaust gas temperature. So that lets us keep an eye on the cylinder head temps and make sure that we're not too lean where we're running the engine too hot. And same with the EGT. So, and then the other kind of cool thing about the G1000 package is it'll show cylinder number 2 here is running the warmest. Cylinder number 5 has the warmest exhaust gas temps. So you can kind of keep an eye on it from there, which is really helpful. All right, so we're with Kansas City Center now. And we have just crossed into
United 1830,
Illinois.
contact Memphis Center 122.27.
So it looks like we're about 100 miles southeast of St. Louis and 150 miles-ish southeast of Peoria.
Delta 2361, go ahead.
We will be crossing over
Delta 2361, descend
into
and maintain
Wisconsin
flight
and
level
Iowa. As soon as we start flying the
300.
Mississippi River on the border there, it always feels like we're home, even though there's a little ways to
Southern
go.
Air 768,
In about
contact
250
Kansas
miles
City Center
or so.
132.65.
Center 600 Bravo Zulu, level 4000.
600 Bravo Zulu, Minneapolis Center, lacrosse altimeter is 3019.
Great. November 79567, roger.
Minneapolis approach, Main State 55.
Go ahead.
I think I have the traffic inside. Can I descend to 4000 now?
Main State 55, yeah, that's fine. Just on a maintain 4000, maintain visual separation with the Cirrus off your left hand side.
Just going to maintain 4000 and maintain visual separation with the Cirrus Main State 55.
Minneapolis approach, good evening, Cirrus 600 Bravo Zulu, level 4000.
Number 600 Bravo Zulu, Minneapolis approach, roger. You can plan the visual approach at New Richmond. Just advise you have the airport site.
Alright, we'll plan the visual to Richmond, and we got the field insight for 0 Bravo Zulu.
Number 600 Bravo Zulu, your cleared visual approach to the New Richmond Airport.
Alright, clear for the visual to New Richmond for 0 Bravo Zulu. New Richmond traffic, Cirrus 0 Bravo Zulu is on a 10-mile final for 32 New Richmond. Alright, we'll give her 7 clicks to bring the lights up here.
So if you're not an aviation person, you might be wondering, how in the world do you find airports in the dark from the sky? And there's a few ways you do that. First, your instruments tell you where they are.
I would say the cheating method is you just look at the screen, but...
And your GPS drives you straight there if you're using autopilot. But the old school way is every airport has, I think every airport, right?
Yep.
Has a really bright strobe light that stands pretty tall, and it's always a consistent color combination. It strobes white and then green. So when you watch for the strobing bright white and then green light, that is the location of an airport. So if you're heading in the direction of where you're trying to find your destination and you find the strobe light, that's a good indication that you found the airport. So
yeah. And when you're looking for the airport at night, really the airport strobe is, or beacon is that's the way to find it.
Yeah.
Zoe's excited to be back.
Somehow she knows when we're about to land.
And Richmond traffic, Cirrus Bravo Zulu is on final for 32 to Richmond.
500.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Yes, Zoe, we're back.
We'll pull back a little bit to get some aerodynamic braking for free. Minimize our use of the brakes. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the flight.
It was a little long. Total flight time ended up being about 4... What does it say? 4
hours and 18 minutes on this leg, which is crazy long, but we had that 35 knot headwind, which
we
was
did
a
fight a
bit of
headwind
bummer.
most of the way, unfortunately, which we were not anticipating. Didn't look like that was going to happen this morning, so.
No.
Anyway, you can't always anticipate everything, but we made it back safe and sound as usual, so it was a nice flight. Smooth.
And there's the truck, and I don't know if that means it's going to be really cold out or...
I guess we're about to find out what kind of weather we came back to, but no snow on the ground yet. Still early in the year, I guess.
We shall figure it out. All right, clear wings, right? Good.
You're good on the right, yeah.
All right, it's just Mike with your truck. All right. That is it. Good.
Over and out.
Got pizza though.